Happy Gladiator Wednesday to those of you who celebrate. We got a beautiful 10-game NFL slate. We got a 7-game hump day hoop slate. And I want to give a shout out right off the top. Good people at Underdog there. I want to attribute this to Neumy and Hope, though I do not definitively know. But the Mona Lisa of payout structures. Hang it in the Louvre. We talked about bankroll management last show a little bit. Well, they did it for us this week. They did it for us with the brand new Battle Royale structure. Love it. Nice and flat and still top heavy enough to get excited about. Second place is more than first place was last week. So love to see it, Nez.
Yeah, that'll summarize it, man. It's first or second more than first last week. It's a brand new week. It kind of feels like not the good old days, but it feels like last season, because we've got so much going on contest wise. And, without the dog bowl, like we kind of mentioned on Monday, it really changes up the lobby. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this week. I'm going really heavy into these BRs and these goal line stands. I'm at 46 Battle Royales, max the hurry up. Trying to get as many goal line stands as I can, but the fill rate on those is, a little slow right now, but that's to be expected with the 12s. But yeah, Gladiator Wednesday and Spotify Wrapped Wednesday to those who celebrate. I really think it would be so sweet maybe not sweet, maybe a little bit gross to see my underdog stats for the year.
Oh, dude, can you imagine Underdog Wrap tell you how many drafts you did? What your highest cash was, what your best day was, what your worst day was. What else would you add in the Underdog Wrap?
Oh, okay. So you said best day where
most drafted player, Tony Redacted.
Most drafted player for sure. Give me like a nice little detailed P&L. Maybe that's not something everybody wants to see.
I don't want to see that.
I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know my best sport, my best ROI. Maybe like, what'd be really cool is to know like what lineups, like who did you see in your lobby the most that like you had the worst ROI for? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I already know Jordan Poole and Tony Redacted.
Well, I mean like players, like if I get like RT99, like and all,
okay.
Any lobby that I'm in with him, like my ROI is like shit. Like just for example.
Yeah, like that's interesting. I don't know how far's too far. I mean, maybe it's just like where does too far become like detrimental? But like all this stuff would just be so fun. And maybe we're the guys that build these tools. Who knows?
It should be.
Yeah, why not? Right? Yeah, like here, Chad, like the old shark scope for UD. Yeah, ooh. That's a good callback to the OG poker days. Shark scope was that. Yeah. Hey, Ben asking when hoops, not quite hoops. This is true. How long over under? We play higher lowers around here actually. But when we're going to turn to hoops, we're turning to hoops right now, just for one isolated second.
Okay.
I got to get one take out before we do the football stuff. And this is pertinent knowledge that needs to be hit right off the top of the show.
Okay.
LeBron James, we've been talking about it. Fake cues over and over again. Today, not a fake cue. Front end of a back-to-back against Detroit. It looks like a cushy spot, 7-point favorites. Cam Reddish is coming back, blah, blah, blah. All that sets up. I don't care about any of that shit. That's what all the smart people are going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what the truth is. He does not want the smoke, Nez, from beef stew. He does not want to run it back on the beef at center court with our guy, Isaiah Stewart. That's the take, man.
People forget. I forgot all about that beef with the Stewmeister, and he for sure doesn't want that. He's scared. He's going to be in street clothes. He's going to be as far away from possible from the old Stewski.
Yeah, he's going to be far end of the bench. Normally, he's like a guy who likes to, when he's not playing, get up and involved in the ref's face, be a second coach out there. Not tonight. He's cowering in the corner as close to the tunnel as he can be because Beef Stew is going to chase his ass down it.
Many are saying. You heard it here first.
Yeah, there you go. Right there. Job face.
If he's out, that's what Underdog NBA should put in the injury report. LeBron James, fear of smoke.
Coward. Yeah. Oh,
I'm not able to play today.
yeah, in parentheses, beef stew. So good, man. All right. Well, you've been doing the work here in the BR stuff. You're not shocking that your volume is ahead of mine right now, but I'm planning to get there. Maybe I won't get to max, but I do feel like the payout structure, the lack of dog bowl, the slate itself. I'm aiming. What do you think a conservative estimate for your boy is this week? 75. I'm aiming
Yeah.
75.
Yeah, 75 is I'd say that's a nice easy benchmark. Get to 75 and then see how close you can get to 100 after that.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I like it. Led with Kamara, led with Zach Moss on the cover.
Yes.
The Kamara, the Zach Moss is easy in terms of a 1-to-1, right? Like it's a 1-to-1 replacement of JT, who's having the thumb surgery, going to be out 2 to 3 weeks, whatever, right? We have seen him crush this, what we thought was a vaunted Tennessee, front and good against the run. We saw him crush them once this year already. Zach Moss, that is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's ADP like 30 something right now. The market hasn't caught up to that one. The other one, Alvin Kamara, is they have nobody healthy, right? Michael Thomas is gone. Olave's got the questionable tag on it. Rashid Shaheed got hurt last week as well. It's going to be, Juwan Johnson, A.T. Perry, Taysom Hill, and Alvin Kamara. And if anybody has seen the highlights that have been circling this week of how putrid Derek Carr has been in the red zone for the entirety of his career, I think we got to turn to Alvin Kamara in this spot. Do you not think the same, Nez?
Of course, absolutely. I think Alvin Kamara represents like some of the best usage that you're probably going to find this week. Targets have been down since his intro game and week 7, where he amassed 14 targets in each of those games. Since then, been around like 5 to 7. But I think we can definitely see an uptick against the Lions, where that's going to be a really competitive game. Likely going to be passing a lot, and like you mentioned, man, they're just so banged up injury wise. Like Shaheed banged up, Michael Thomas on the IR,
yeah,
Chris Olave concussion protocol still, I believe. So all that is just shaping up to be like 14 targets for Alvin Kamara once again.
And you do layer on the fact that the one that we both didn't mention yet is Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller has had the ankle and that sort of thing. So, I mean, he's not a huge factor, but it just takes one less rotationary piece out of that backfield, right? So then,
yeah, because he's not dominating snaps. Kamara, that is, like he is,
right?
Like, he obviously has majority, but percentage wise, he hasn't gone over 79% yet this season, and that was with injuries, I believe, during those weeks. 66% of snaps last week, but it's just lining up to be some of the best usage that you can find this week.
And here is the leverage off it all on a what we'll deem shallow quarterback slate. We got no Ravens, no Bills, no Bears. That instantly takes 3 quarterbacks off the board there, and then Geno and Dak are not in this contest either. That instantly brings me to exactly what GA knows where I'm headed. Knows where I'm headed with this one. What do we think about my Tyson Hill?
Tyson Hill.
Tyson.
I mean, maybe in a goal line stand.
Coward. Are you LeBron? Are you LeBron and Taysom?
You just don't need to do that. You just don't need to do that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, but I will.
I hope you do. It'll make me so happy.
All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to add in some action here. I've been messing around with some tools. We've been displaying the Fantasy Life stuff for that's not better. Okay, let me see if I can stretch and is that better? Fill in the void at all? Okay.
Yeah. See your lovely bookmarks, but it fills.
Oh yeah, you know what I did? Here. Let's go. That's why things are off today. Sorry guys. Normally we're real dialed here.
Oh, we're dialed.
We absolutely are. We will start with the Game Hub. But what I was alluding to here is we've been displaying, these Fantasy Life tools as part of our process for so long. And we have been, as you got to be my eyes here. Am I feeling it better now?
Yeah, you're all the way. Maybe just like one zoom. See what that looks like.
Boom.
Oh my gosh, John, it's beautiful.
All right, there we go. Now we're back in business. Yeah, we've been displaying this stuff for a long time. We've been talking through this, and we've been talking through the utilization stuff primarily. But two things I wanted to add that have been a big part of my process early in the week because ETR projections aren't out yet, and market hasn't really fully dove into the week. Like, I think we still follow the DFS pattern of looking at a football week, right? Where people, they do a first look, but it's just kind of whatever. And then other content like this. And the projection models kind of walk in unison with that. And the DVP data kind of walks in unison with that. But not a Fantasy Life, man. Fantasy Life is catering to us and having projections up early. So they are one of the earliest ones with projections up right now. And that's kind of where the Zach Moss stuff stems from. They have him as like RB2 right now, which is pretty huge. And then they got some really good DVP data stuff. So I think maybe we've been doing, maybe this is my fault, doing a little bit of disservice by primarily only using the Game Hub and some of this other stuff. I'm sure people have been working through it on their own. But I really want to highlight some of that stuff today, too, as we walk through, just because I think there's some good nuggets there, some good edge for us there. Anyways.
Zach Moss, too, is super bullish.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why okay, you know what? We're talking about it right now. I'm sure I had the tab all ready to go here. And then you could switch it to the underdog scoring, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we're talking right behind Christian McCaffrey right here with the 15-9. Granted, 3 running backs behind him at the 15-8 mark that are all on the slate. But just I found that one very interesting when I was looking through it this morning.
I don't even hate it.
No. Yeah,
like, I mean, he's gonna have some like him and Kamara. Their roles are gonna be so similar this week.
Right. And who's the backup running back for the Colts? Do you know? I'm going to blow your mind.
Who?
Trey Sermon.
That's right. I did see that. Is
right?
It finally
it's like
Trey Sermon week, huh?
Well, that just kind of plays to the point where it's like, dude, it's Zach Moss 88% of everything week. That's why. The usage is going to be, dare we say Kyron style.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going Kyron mode on the on the Titans this week. I just finished because it was just the poor timing, but finished a $25. What is the contest there? Fullback dive, the 5 max. I just finished a draft, and Zach Moss went 22 to I believe the new member of ours, Alex Clark. That's Alejandro, I believe. Took him 22. I have been able to get him in the 6th, but just went in the 4th in a draft I just did mid-4th. So you can still get Zach Moss really cheap, and man, he feels great on Underdog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's going to be kind of like the biggest steam piece this week in terms of ADP riser. Shout out Alex there, as you alluded to, Alejandro. Thank you for becoming a member. We're going to be residing on this channel full time. So, there's going to be a little bit of stuff coming this way, and there's going to be a little bit of members only stuff, kind of behind the curtain too. So you're going to want to be a part of that stuff. So appreciate you doing so, and then appreciate anyone else who considers to do so. We got 50 of us to start off this show right now. Do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, that notification bell and stuff does wonders for us and the algo game. All right, Nez, I'm going to ask you my favorite question of the bunch when we start these things and we're looking at the Game Hub. Which game is catching your eye right now?
Ooh, baby. It's got it. You already know, man. If you watch the show, you already know. I start with the Commanders and I start with the Eagles. And for me right now, for sure, it's the Eagles and the Niners. I love every single piece of this game. It's not cheap, but you can. I mean, Ayuk, Kittle, and Debo are all extremely, extremely affordable for what I think they give you in this game. Which that total. How many times is like Vegas gonna do this and set these totals less than 50 against the Eagles? Like, the Eagles are going to give up like 30 points in this game, and they are a great team. They're going to fight. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I love this game. Really, like, nothing to really say, man. We know who the studs are on the Niners. We know who the studs are on the Eagles. The passing attacks of both of these games, man, are just going to go off, and it's going to be fantastic. Going to be an awesome afternoon hammer. I mentioned the of course, like, Dolphins against the Commanders. I think
let's stay on this game for 1 second, because I want to talk a little bit more here. The Devonta Smith one with Goddard being out, like, that's real. That's real that we see an uptick in usage there. I want to ask you, price adjusted on the quarterbacks in this game, because I do think it's a pretty tough matchup on the Eagles side. I'm not going to put anything past Hurts. But man, we've seen the Niners do some damage to some good teams and good quarterbacks. Do you prefer Brock Purdy ADP adjusted to Jalen Hurts?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think the rushing upside for Hurts is just so real, and if they're at the end zone, I mean, that's 6. Like, you can pretty much give Jalen Hurts 6 points as soon as the game kicks off. Like, the rushing touchdown is in his future. The one thing about the Devonta Smith Dallas Goedert thing that you're mentioning is Dallas Goedert is questionable. So I don't know how truly questionable he is, but hey, in the main contest, 6-person drafts, there's one of the best clicks right now is 6th-round Dallas Goedert, and if he doesn't play, swap him. Yeah,
good shout there, because tight end does low key like fall off a cliff. So why not take the ceiling potential of the game environment plus the tether to Hurts, blah blah blah. There, Jalen Hurts, man, like, he hasn't thrown for more than like 220 yards in a while now, and I said in our group chat before they made the comeback and won in overtime there that I think the Eagles are extremely overrated as a team. I think they could have and should have lost to the Bills. They could have and should have lost to the Chiefs. I'm not sure how much of that matters from our fantasy battle royale lens perspective, but I do think that secondary is a problem, man. They're getting chewed apart by opposing quarterbacks and opposing wide receivers. So I was kind of setting the stage that price adjusted, maybe I don't like Purdy more than Hurts. Maybe that's too far to go with it. But I do think I like the skinny stack potential based on price a little bit more.
Yeah, Purdy is like clear-cut top 5 QBs this week because of that secondary. And if I miss on one of these top 3 QBs, then I make Purdy a pretty heavy priority for me in these drafts. Like, I would take him naked, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a weird thing to say with Purdy, because we think of him as like, to reach his ceiling, he needs to be a distributor, he needs to whatever. But I can see the merit in it if he spreads it around enough. He can get that 30 points that you need without being tethered to one pass catcher.
And he low-key has been spreading it around a lot.
Right. Yeah, good show.
Ayuk has a very rich ADP. I love him in this matchup, don't get me wrong, but he has not been like giga smashing, really. His reception totals are, I can't remember the last time that he exceeded like 6 receptions. Maybe that was just 2 weeks ago, but like none of these receivers are really like taking up all the usage. So just more reason to take naked Purdy. And I'm really just looking for, in these 6-person drafts, just straight up just raw points. Correlation is a bonus, but I will snipe your Niner stacks, and I'm not sorry about it.
The naked Purdy bit is back in a big way. You'll love to see it. It's interesting because like we saw it 2 slates ago, because they were on the turkey slate and then they were on the previous slate to that. They were part of the main slate, and it was like a huge Kittle game with 19. It was an Ayuk was pushed up. Ayuk had like 17, something like that. And then Purdy had a nice big number as well. I can't remember, 24, something in that magnitude. But the thing was, you only needed Kittle, right? Because of the separation that score presents. Like, yeah, that's a really nice like stack. And if you played it on redacted, yeah, that's a really nice stack. but you're not going to hit the nuts because you need all three of them to be the top scoring player at their position. And the likelihood of that is just like so much lower. So it's a good way to have a nice caching correlated lineup, but it's pretty hard to see ceiling outcome of like Ayuk gets 32 points, Kittle gets 18 or whatever, and he gets 32 as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, I mansplained correlation there. That's what oh man, Nez, you got to put me in my place more often, dude. Let me know. Okay. Two of the higher totals on the slate that we just pushed past there that actually both from Sharp's perspective have higher totals than the game that we just talked about. There is this Commanders Dolphins one and this Broncos Texans one. I assume you prefer the Dolphins Commanders one, Nez?
I prefer, sort of. Okay. I don't know, man. The thing with like Dolphins Texans, the things with Dolphins is like it's super concentrated. So like, there's only 5 pieces that you want from this, like maybe 4.5, because Achan's got a true questionable tag on him right now. But like, man, if he can't go, Mostert is going to score 30 fantasy points in this game. Like I will tell you right now, Mostert is just a touchdown machine. And this team, and correct me if I'm wrong, man, but this Dolphins team isn't as pass happy as people like really think it is. And while this kind of is setting up, like the Commanders seed fantasy points anywhere that you can score them from, which is, a lot to quarterback. But I think Mostert is setting up to just like absolutely destroy this Commanders team. I don't think that there's a reason to rush Achan back, even if he can suit up. Like, how many carries are they really going to give the kid because he is banged up and fragile and they need him for the playoff run when they don't need him to beat the Commanders this week? Right. Especially on that field, man. I don't know how much they're giving credence to the fact that so many people get injured against the Commanders at Washington, but
really, I didn't even realize that.
Oh yeah, that turf is disastrous. Very much a cursed field.
I knew that one was bad, and I knew the Bears one were both bad, but I didn't remember like the injury adjacent narrative that went with that.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
Giving credence to your point here, Washington Commanders, they are ranked the worst versus opposing quarterbacks, allowing the most amount of fantasy points versus opposing quarterbacks. So making Tua and that look good, but the running back stuff isn't far behind. So they're just bad, and they're flat out bad in a big way. And I'd venture to guess that running back number, if we changed the weeks in which we were dealing with here to when they got rid of Chase Young and Montez Sweat, that running back number would look even worse. So they're just target the shit out of that defense right now is basically the narrative.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty intelligent to play that game both as like one-off receiver ones, skinny stacks with Tua, or through Mostert, maybe even a sneaky late dart of Jeff Wilson, perhaps.
I don't think that's crazy. If Achan isn't suiting up, like they are probably going to be up in a position where Jeff Wilson is like getting multiple series to himself. But that could also be Salvin Ahmed too. If it,
he's gone. He's out. Yeah.
So how many? They only have 2 running backs on their team.
Yeah, and the other kid, the rookie who I was talking about in like week 3 or 4 or whatever, he's on IR as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do see that he's done for the season. I missed that. Okay, then then absolutely, Jeff Wilson. If we're probably more of a goal line stand play, but he's definitely going to get series to himself if these Dolphins take care of business. And I think that they absolutely demolish that spread, but that's not the type of show we are.
You're right. Commander's side of the ball there. Sam Howell on the bring back, some of the wide receivers on the bring back. It'll most likely be Terry, who is the most heavily drafted there. Are we thinking about bring back and or game environment plays here with this one?
I'm like kind of over Sam Howell, but I think his receivers are like certainly in play. Logan Thomas is always there in the 6th if you miss on tight end, but otherwise Yeah, just the receivers, and watch Brian Robinson get home, but I won't be going there.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, especially with Antonio Gibson back, and then they still kept Rodriguez in the mix there as well. So yeah, it's too murky on the running back side, and it's really murky on the wide receiver side as well. But I think Terry or Logan are my favorite of the bunch as well. There, I think I will have some naked Sam Howell, but use it as a bring back off of like a Waddle, a Mostert, or a Hill, and do like a weird game correlation stack like that, where it's actually Sam Howell scores once on the ground and they score twice through the air, and then Tyreek outscores Tua on the other side or whatever. Like I do think I will do something like that in the 6 persons, just because the roster spots.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any pick'ems for like the pass attempt stuff yet for Howell. We have 25.5 completions, but man, he's going to throw the ball like 50 times.
Yeah, man. Right. It's just what he does. Yeah. No attempt stuff there yet.
Yeah. We got a hoops news.
What do we got?
Fred VanVleet out.
Oh, so, okay. This is interesting because the Rockets, basically held back
out.
Their who?
Jason Tate out.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, it's another.
They held back their practice report an extra hour because this is the 3:30 Eastern one, which was weird. I thought they were going to be on the previous one, and we would have known stuff like this. The Fred VanVleet out is interesting because that makes Jalen Green look really nice in the 6th round, does it not?
Yes, it makes him like an absolute clear standout.
Yeah. And then the other thing about that is maybe you don't rush Murray back on the other side of that game now, like Jamal.
Yeah. If he's playing, then it's just strict. Then he's super limited, right?
Right. Yeah. So maybe Jamal becomes less of a click there. All right. Let's keep rolling with the football stuff here for a bit. I see. I'm not sure about the Achane stuff. Like Dusty saying he was hammering it early in the week there. I have a lean that even if he does play, it's like I don't know. Maybe this is bad take, but I can't imagine he has more than 8 touches this week, even if he plays.
I would be so surprised if he got more than 10 touches.
Right.
And like, the thing is like, yeah, he can give you like 18 fantasy points on single digit touches. And he does give you a swap. So like in theory, not a terrible pick, man. But I won't be doing it just because, like you said, it just doesn't feel like they need to give this kid that many touches, and I don't know, and I don't know why they would. Like Commanders are dogs.
9 for 218 and 2. That's so
that's exactly what's gonna fucking happen. Like it's exactly what's gonna happen.
So true. The other one I would say to that, Dusty, though, is if you were doing it early in the week, at least you get a Zach Moss swap now, because nobody was touching Zach Moss before the Jonathan Taylor news, right? So like Zach Moss is undrafted in the first, 12, 13, 14% of drafts. A little bit of, silver lining there, I guess.
Damn, good call, man.
That's what I'm here for, bro.
I don't care what they say about you, dude. You know a little bit of ball.
Yeah. That's funny. Go AZ Cards. We touched on this a little bit the other show there. We haven't definitively ironed out our schedule yet, but as of right now, the 3 of us and Pete will all be there on Friday. It will be probably an evening or later than usual, something like that. But I think we're going to end up doing a Friday show, a Saturday show, then recording stuff from the event and the drafts on Saturday that is not live stream, and then doing some sort of like sweat and whatever on top of that. So between Hayden and Josh and their channel, and then Pete's channel and our channel, you're going to get live off and on the clock, most likely on our channel for the Friday there. You're going to get something on the Saturday from Pete's channel involving us and hopefully Hayden and Josh as well. And then we're going to get, some other stuff henceforth. The Saturday cut together, the Sunday cut together, blah, blah, blah. So
you're going to get a shit ton of content.
You're going to get a lot of fun stuff. And we'll be, tweet storming through it and sharing draft boards and stuff like that. Though this is one fun wrinkle to the contest. No draft boards will be shared because the drafters cannot see each other's draft boards until the entirety of it is complete. So that is one thing that's playing into the no live streaming of the event on the Saturday there, is because they don't want one another to see each other's draft boards and then make decisions based on that. They want to keep the integrity of the contest. So I thought that was a really sharp thing. So another little small edge for some of the guys that have 2 seats, right? Because now they get a little peek behind the curtain. Though you see it in the goal line stands and ADP and stuff throughout the week. I can't imagine it's too different, right?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
I love the mysteriousness of it, though. Like, I love that they are trying to keep boards and rooms and stuff like secret from other players. Like, I think that's smart and cool. We'll see how well it's kept a secret, but
right. No, it's cool because if you go first, Tucker likes it apparently. It's cool because if you went first, for instance, like in the first draft or whatever, like you would be at a disadvantage of the person going in the third draft, and they want to eliminate that variance, right?
Exactly, right. Like that would be an actual like tangible edge, and you know,
right.
It's already a big enough edge for the people that have those extra seats. So
saving the board and live tweeting it out. There you go, G.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, Tucker, this is insane, dude. Okay, just what the hell, man? This guy's going crazy. Hey, dude, stop. Enough. All right, let's rip through some more games here and get to the ADP stuff. Walk through some of the plays that we like, Nez. We didn't talk about the Texans one yet. The Broncos, low key, one of the hottest teams of football right now. Since they gave up that 70 burger that was living rent free in our heads for so long, they have not been that bad on the defensive end, and they've won 5 in a row. And all of a sudden, the Broncos are second in the AFC West, ahead of the Chargers, and they are same record as the Texans here. So maybe a good ball game, maybe a whatnot. What are you seeing, bud?
Loving this game. Ooh. Mostly from the Texans side, where you know, on this slate on a whole is, you know, very top heavy at quarterback, and I don't want to be caught without a top 5 quarterback on this slate. And so I'm giving a lot of credence to CJ Stroud in these drafts, because you can pair him with Nico, you can pair him with Schultz, and if you miss out on the Tank pairing, then you know it's okay, because CJ Stroud can still light it up. You know, you don't necessarily have to have Tank with him to make Stroud a good pick. He's a good pick regardless. So love him in these drafts, man. I've got a ton of CJ Stroud, a lot of Nico Collins, a lot of Dalton Schultz. Tank Dell, I know, popped up on the injury report with a calf. Sounds like they think he's going to play no problem. But Noah Brown, we got to keep an eye out for. I don't know that I'm going to like dock Nico too much, because he's already like pretty affordable, but we definitely got to keep an eye out for the Noah Brown stuff. And if anything, that only makes CJ Stroud look better.
Okay, cool. Let me bring up the DVP thing again for a second here. One little nugget that I saw earlier. The worst team in terms of fantasy points allowed to the tight end position, the Denver Broncos. And as you alluded to, Schultz there, that Schultz skinny stack looks pretty affordable right now too. So might be a little something there. Anyways, little wrinkle there, but kind of in lockstep with you there. I don't think Noah Brown is going to be like a huge hit. He had some nice games when Nico was out and whatnot. They view him as like their best blocking wide receiver. That's what he was known for with the Cowboys and stuff like that. I think he's a serviceable third wide receiver. Obviously, we've seen him have some really nice games, but I wouldn't be docking, Tank and Nico too hard because of his presence. It might be a little boost for the run game for, Singletary or something. And hey, shout out to us who were all over the fact that even though Dame Pierce was coming back last week, that Singletary was going to still hold a stranglehold on that backfield. I think he's, not as sexy this week, but like he's definitely still in play this week.
Yeah. Is he hashtag good?
I don't know, man. He might be. I don't know. I think he's good in an outside zone run scheme, and I think he is a better, physical goal line between the tackles runner in the red zone than people would ever give credit for his size. How about that?
He's good. AKA what you just told me, dude's good.
Nez, I'd like to ask you a question. Do you think you'd be looking forward to meeting Andrew in Miami?
Mackins? I guess. Yeah, I can't wait to bro out with Mackins. I'm rewatching my Succession seasons just so we can just quote Cousin Greg back and forth to one another all weekend.
That's fun, man. Yeah, I'm trying to let the man live, but he's disrupting the program right now. Normally he's Mr. Good Boy. Now he's Mr. Loud Boy. Shout out to Chris G doing the Lord's work and not being like a smug ass like me and buying a designer dog for way too much money and actually rescuing a dog. Big shouts there. Reminder to everyone that we had that raked contest that we contributed all that money to charity in Nashville there to rehome dogs as well. So that was a little fun thing that we did in the early season.
Gave back what we could there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in tandem with the Good Dog Network. All right. Other games, Nez, that are popping up to you or that we can just write off. I know you want to talk about, I guess the most obvious game to talk about next is Saints-Lions, because we led with the Kamara stuff. We talked about how depleted the Saints are. Maybe there's a little bit of Taysom stuff there. This does low-key look like a pace-up spot, too, primarily because of the Lions on that side. Is this your, game that you're getting to as well? Yeah,
circled? It is indeed circled, and it's so easy to get to. I mean, St. Brown you got to pay up for. And I will probably be underweight St. Brown, but Gibbs and Montgomery, dude, go way too late in these drafts, and it's awesome. I love it. I think I'm cool with either one. If I was a projection machine, I would probably have them like damn near dead even in this matchup. But Gibbs is more expensive, so not to say that I'm going to be underweight Gibbs. I still want Gibbs, but. At any rate, yeah, this game is going to be sick. Hopefully, we get Olave in. I think Olave is an awesome 6-round pick right now in the 6-person drafts because, if you get a swap for him, if he doesn't play, and if he does play, I think that he is in line for a pretty big game against the Lions.
Yeah, I have no lean on the situation. It's really weird that we don't have any more information on him. And I'm not sure I love the swaps at wide receiver as much as I love the swaps at running back this week. So That's fair. If I'm taking Olave late and like taking him in that like 6th round or, like that sort of deal, that I want to take him as a flex position. I think that would be my little ad because I do think he's a little more on the side that he's not going to play than he is going to play. Right.
Olave? He's still in the concussion protocol.
Okay. Yeah, that one I was just thinking through there on the fly when we were talking about this game. What about your boy Jameson Williams? Is he in play? Little uptick, man. Little uptick. Is it too far?
I know, man. I know. Yeah. It's definitely too far. Like I think it's even too far in the goal line stands because my Steelers are always there in the 6th round in a goal line stand too. My bags are packed in best ball. If you guys got FOMO, be my guest. But I'm gonna be right there, dragging down the advance rate. But that low owned guy you need in the playoffs, man, I'm feeling good about that.
All right, I like it. You alluded to your Steelers there. I think it's an obvious place to go. Next, we saw the Cards get. We've been saying attack the Cards on the ground all year long. We saw them get gashed last week by the Rams. Now, all of a sudden, we have a Steelers revamped offense who had 400 total or more than 400 total yards on offense for the first time in damn near 5 years with Matt Canada gone there. Are you getting excited about your Steelers this week, Nez, in this Cards matchup?
Yeah, I'm getting very excited. Excited. One of the main reasons I am so excited is because they're getting Minkah Fitzpatrick back. So I think really like what helps this, like the piece that I want to attack with the Steelers is them just being in favorable game script, favorable field position, and having Minkah back is a huge part of this defense, firing on all cylinders. Is it Najee week? I've been asked dozens of times on the street. On the timeline, people want to know, is it Najee week, Nez?
People walking around town asking, is it Najee week?
Clamor, grabbing me by the collar. Tell me, is it Najee week? Let me tell you, it's Jaylen Warren week.
Oh, wow. What a curveball.
It's
Why?
Jaylen Warren week, man. It's Jaylen Warren week. It's Jaylen Warren week. He's still he's still better than Najee Harris. Like that hasn't changed. These guys are clearly splitting work, and that will be the case. But no, it's Jaylen Warren week, man. I think he has the ability to just break off those big plays. Najee's a volume play, but I mean, if Warren, what remains true is Warren is more efficient than Najee Harris, and these guys are splitting work. Then give me the more efficient guy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the
I'm
one
taking
caveat,
Najee, but I like Warren more.
Well, the one caveat and the one thing I was scared of associated with the Najee stuff is, well, there's two little nuggets here. There is the fact that Warren goes for 9 yards on first down. They get inside the 20 last week. He goes for 9 yards on first down. Then he goes 6 yards on second down. Now they're first and goal from the 5, and Najee comes in and scores the rushing touchdown on the outside run there and breaks everybody's heart last week, right?
Oh, yeah.
That just looms rent-free in my head that, Najee's still the goal line piece. They still want him down there. Even if Jaylen Warren's the guy who gets him down there, he still doesn't get rewarded. Maybe it's because it was going to be his third touch in a row. Who knows? Maybe Jaylen Warren waved himself out of that ball game, but it does kind of scare me a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think that is probably living rent free in people's minds. Let me just look back. So they were playing the Bengals, and I mean, I think the Bengals defense is I want to say a lot better than the Cardinals. I think the Bengals defense is pretty decent. Cardinals defense is not. So I think that this is just, both these guys can eat and probably will eat. I like Deontay and Pickens, for me is just like, I've never been a big Pickens guy, to be honest, as far as his skill set and stuff. I know a lot of people really like him, but I would rather go Deontay and Freiermuth over Pickens this week. But I think this offense looks good, man. How can you not see the tangible change in this team after getting rid of Canada and wow, they threw the ball over the middle. We literally did not see that. We never saw that while Canada was there. I mean, it's hard to not be excited.
That makes me bullish on the guys that you alluded to, because they are the win over the middle of the field guys. That being said, that George Pickens, slant that he took to the house on the showdown slate that we played, or the 2-game slate that we played, in week 3 or 4 or whatever, when we faded the shit out of him, still lives rent free in my head. That it's this guy has that ability if they decide to use him in space like that and stop making him just run go routes on the boundary, up the sideline like Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, but that's what you need from George Pickens.
Right.
Deontay's going to double his targets, double his receptions. Pickens just isn't that good. I mean, it's just
it's fair.
It's the fact of the matter. And GA saying that was a defeated Bengals team. Dude, it was a division matchup in Cincinnati. I'm sorry, they are getting up for that.
Yeah, their defense is a little banged up too, though. And yeah, anyways, the Cardinals. Is this the shortest offense in the history of football? Think about this. Kyler, Rondell, Marquise Hollywood Brown, and Greg Dortch. That might be the shortest combination of passer to pass catchers in the history of the NFL without Michael Wilson out there.
Short King Winter, baby.
Dude. Yeah, you know what Short King Winter gets you against the Steelers? 2-11. That's what it gets you. That's what it gets you to. Not loving this matchup, but I think it is interesting to note that Kyler Murray has been a top 4 quarterback since returning. He didn't do a ton with his legs last week, yet he still had the rushing touchdown. When they do the tush push at the goal line thing, they bring in Clayton Tune, though, so it does kind of lower his rushing touchdown equity ceiling a tiny bit, I would say. That's, a little bit of bro science, not a whole lot of fact, but I don't know. That's me reading the tea leaves more so to say that's what lowers the ceiling a little bit. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I'm about. I think I'll do a little bit of Kyler to McBride. I'll do a little bit of naked Kyler, and that's kind of it from that side. I don't think there's much leverage in the other stuff. Maybe a one-off Hollywood or Hollywood skinny, but nah.
Yeah, I do like Kyler as a viable quarterback on this slate, and particularly paired with McBride, just because the Steelers linebackers are so banged up. Yeah, I think it works. I think it works.
Yeah. Tennessee and the Colts, sneaky shootout game.
Sneaky, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like Derrick Henry a lot in this game.
Okay.
I think Nuke is also in play. That's about it from the Tennessee side. If you want to go Chig, do your Chig stuff, but I'm all the way good on that. And then on the Colts side, man, we talked about Moss off the rip. Pittman is like a grown ass man, disrespected all best ball season, man. Low key,
yeah, he was
like not talked about enough about how about how much of a steal he was all year in best ball and how well he's done this season. I mean, hasn't like blown up, but I mean, God, he's paying off and then some. And then
this is the bad run out for Pittman. Like this is without Anthony Richardson. Like this isn't even the bull case Pittman, and he still delivered.
There is an argument that Minshew's better for him, but no, it is not the ideal scenario that he loses his starting quarterback. That was not the thesis of the play. And I think even if you told somebody that, maybe they would have known it, but I don't know. You're not wrong though. You're not wrong in that. And then I was just mentioning Downs, 13 targets last week, I believe.
Yep.
Absolutely in play. This is definitely a very sneaky shootout. Titans just have to hold up their end of the bargain.
Downs killed one of our pick'ems from Friday from off and on the clock there.
I know.
13 targets, and he had 46 yards or something like that, and we needed the 48. Just, oh my God, was the process there.
Directionally accurate, baby.
Yeah.
Put it on my tombstone.
The Patriots, I have no idea what they're going to do at quarterback, but if they somehow go to Malik, I'm going to have myself a little Malik Cunningham one-off, like just for the rushing equity associated with that. I am sick and deranged, Nez.
I can't.
But I will.
If it wasn't against the Chargers, I would poo-poo it more. But it's the Chargers, so yeah, go
right. Yeah, there you go. And then the Chargers on the other side, they benched. Austin Eckler. I fired off a tweet that I think he's dead ass playing hurt. Like he is.
He probably is, man. High ankle.
Yeah, I know everyone at this point in the season is banged up. They're nagging injuries. They're whatever. Like this is not all injuries or not all hurt designations are created equal. I think Austin Eckler is really hurt and he's gutting through something. And if this team goes like 4-8 after this week, that he'll just like shut it down or something. I think he's like that injured right now and he's really playing through it while they still have a glimmer of hope here.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that he's also like not like exceptionally fast to begin with.
That's
like
fair.
He's like I'm not gonna go as far as to say that he's only good in fantasy. Like I've seen that take way too much. I think you guys need to get your head out of your ass, man. Austin Eckler is a very good real life running back. Like you don't do what he does, and there's like that stuff translates because he's actually good. No, I'm really scared of this matchup against the Patriots, man. He's ADP 11 right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Never seen that for Austin Eckler.
That's not gonna do it for me, man. I'm gonna let everybody else do that. And I would probably, dude, I wouldn't take Eckler until like the 4th round, I think.
Wow, strong stance. Okay,
it is, but and I know they're banged up, but that game's gonna suck.
Yeah, it very well could. A little bit higher total than some of the other games on the slate.
Yeah, I don't know
it's
why.
kind of weird. It's kind of weird to look at like Steelers cards and be like, yeah, this looks good. And the offenses are turning around and whatever. And then look at Patriots where we don't know where the quarterback is.
Yeah.
And Chargers who basically only have 1.5 offensive weapons right now and outside of their quarterback. And they have the exact same exact same game total.
Yeah, that's the Chargers should never, ever, ever be 6-point favorites on the road. Ever. Like that is such a joke. That is such a joke.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Chargers gonna Charger, right? Yeah, I just wanted to say
at New England, like, come on, dude. No way.
Quentin Johnson was benched last game. I don't know. Can we play Jalen Guyton? Who the F knows?
You want to so bad.
I want to so bad. If you're looking for that Robbie Anderson, that chosen Anderson, 3 for 130 and 2 scores, and you double bird the whole field, Jalen Guyton might be that dude this week, but it's so super, super thin and probably best reserved for the 6th round of a 12-person draft. Is there any hope on planet Earth this week for the Carolina Panthers with a new coaching staff. Frank Wright's gone. Pour one out for our guy, Josh McCown, former Underdog legend. Those guys all gone there. Is there any reason for optimism that, Bryce Young can go against a pass funnel defense in Tampa this week, and he's the low owned leverage stack you need?
I want to say yes.
Well, of course you do.
Of course I do, right? Not for Bryce, but Adam Thielen, man, goes in the last round of goal line stands this week. He's definitely in play, right? Like people have said that like the change of the guard means that Thielen is dead. Is he still not their best wide receiver?
Yep, he probably still is. Yep.
We all saw that clip of Jonathan Mingo, man. He's their best wide receiver.
Jumps out of bounds.
Poor guy, man. I mean, I know he was running fast and like it is hard to stop, but buddy, come on.
I can't offer any opinion on it because I've never ran that fast in my entire life. So I'm not entirely sure that I could stop, but I think I could.
I don't think I would jump out of bounds. Like, oh man,
it's a hilarious clip. If you guys haven't seen it, I think Pete retweeted it the other day.
Did.
So
and I was like, I almost drafted up a defense of him, and I'm like, this is indefensible.
Cleveland Browns. I think they might be on their fourth quarterback this week, and somehow this team is still 7-4. They're the third place in the AFC North, but they're well in wild card contention here. They're getting a hot Rams team, man. This Rams team looks like they're low-key back. We're talking about guys playing hurt. Actually, sorry, we passed on this one. Jackson bringing up a good point here. This is a good Mostert spot. They've been using Mostert way more out of the bye. They had a bye, and then they came back, and Mostert has had 2 good games in a row there since. That's a good shout there. That's
my guy JB. That's a good call out.
Yeah, good call out indeed. We're talking about guys playing hurt, guys playing injured. I think Cooper Kupp, man, like this is not great right now. He's that ankle is not 100%. He banged it up early in that game again. There went into the tent to get things fixed. He got it out, the performance, but man, he has not done a whole lot. And it's very weird to see Cooper Kupp routinely going in the 5th and 6th round. Just not accustomed to. What are we doing here? Are we buying into Rams offense from last week, even though it's a tough defense here? Or are we getting to anything from the Cleveland side, especially if it's Joe Flacco?
Is it Joe Flacco?
I don't know. It's potentially. I haven't looked during the show at if Underdogs tweeted anything. There's potential that it could be. There's murmurs, Nez.
Jesus Christ. Well,
here, let me see. I'm looking at the Underdog Twitter right now.
Yeah, I don't want to like not. Njoku just feels like such like a nice little safety valve at tight end in drafts to take if you're left without any options, but.
Yeah, I think it's obviously more in play with DTR because we've seen his affinity for him. But DTR is in the concussion protocol and did not practice today. Chris Olave was seen participating Wednesday, but is still in concussion protocol. So those are kind of our two updates there, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, this game just feels gross, I guess, just to get to the game. I don't really like this game. Kyren, I think, is obviously like in play, even though it is like a little scary against the Browns defense, but his usage is, and this offense is competent enough that if they get to the close to the end zone, like he's their guy. So, Kyren's still a good click, but all the way with you on Cooper Kupp, man. That's scary. Very scary. And then even Puka, man, with a hampered cup hasn't been getting home lately. So this Rams team is winning and they are hot, but I don't think I want anything in this game other than Kyren.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I think maybe there's a little bull case that you could say Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt also not practicing today. I don't know. We've seen Hunt or we've seen Ford just look the better of the two. So I don't know.
That's
maybe
a good shot.
The F guy.
Yeah, scroll the F down, goal line stand. Jerome Ford is definitely viable. He's going to get double-digit touches.
Platform. of the people here, Nez. Quarterback position, we've kind of talked through all of the upper echelon tier guys here. Any of the scroll the F variety, I low key am gonna have some Russell Wilson skinnies this week.
And I don't fault you for it, man. You would be
Okay.
very sharp to do so. That's a game environment that I like, that other people like, and we're only looking one way at it. So I would only do this, I think, with Sutton though. Like Judy, I am just so out on Judy.
Yeah, that's entirely fair. I mean, like, and Russ has shown that he loves Sutton in the red zone. Like, that's just what he does.
Exactly.
And Sutton probably should have had a touchdown last week on a like big 40-yard play that was early in that ball game that he kind of just stepped out as he was getting run down there. But he could add like a 50-ish yard touchdown there, 40 something yard touchdown there.
Yeah, but shout out Matt Harmon though, because Matt Harmon early in the preseason, while we were still drafting, was letting everyone know that the elite route running that we think Judy is known for is like resting on his college laurels. He was out here like, because that's like what we thought was like, oh yeah, Judy wins routes. He's a great route runner. And the reception perception god himself was out here saying like, here's my hot take. Like Judy is not that good at running at the thing that we think that he's good at. And if he's not good at the thing that we think he's good at, what the fuck is he good at? So,
right. Yeah. And it's
just wanted to
interesting
say
because
that.
he was low-key one of the only ones saying that, because a lot of people were saying that Sutton was a cut candidate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nez, do you know who my highest owned wide receiver in 100 and whatever best ball drafts I did this year is?
I'm surprised you did 100, but who is it?
Cortland Sutton, my friend.
Oh, you sharp dog.
It was only, I think it's like 22% or 21. I was pretty flat.
Oh my God.
Whatever.
Dude,
but yeah,
my eyes killing me right now.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know, man.
Need some drops?
I think I do need some drops, but they're in the other room, and I don't want to abandon my post.
No, go take care of yourself.
I'm out here. I don't want to be rubbing my eye the whole time. That's the most like unappealing thing in the world.
I can filibuster the shit out of this game.
Vamp
dude.
A little bit, and then let's hop into draft because I want to talk hoops.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, low-key shootout game environment that's only getting played through the run game is this Gardner Minshew versus Will Levis game. Basically, everyone's only playing Moss or Henry. A little bit of Nuke going there. I could see this game going through the air, man. Like, the Colts have been shredded by everybody through the air. I don't know. Go ahead and make a little skinny Will Levis to Nuke stack. That's going to be contrarian as hell there. I don't really want Derek Carr on the bring back of that game. He's just so bad in the red zone. It's crazy, man. But I don't know. I can see it being fine. It's crazy that 2 years ago, the recency bias of Matt Stafford throwing for 4 touchdowns and people just box score chasing would have pushed this ADP way up the board. But like QB 14 for him right now, it's like, you should probably just mix in 1 or 2 and do it with the Kyron stack if you want. But yeah, it's not a great scroll at quarterback week, in my opinion. There's just not that many like beautiful spots to get to. I'm probably going to stay pretty tethered to, basically quarterback 11 and down. I might give a little credence to Nez's point with the Bryce Young, and I'll definitely do a Kenny Pickett skinny or 2, but that's about it. Anyone else you want to mention there, Nez?
No, quarterback is pretty gross, and I am very much pushing up quarterback in all of my drafts.
Yeah, I think that's a sharp approach this week. Zach Moss, we alluded to liking the Detroit guys as well, though the matchup isn't amazing on paper. We just think it's going to be pace up game environment, and there's going to be points scored on the Lions side of that ball there. We said Ramondre earlier. You mentioned the Jalen Warren potential. Anyone else of the scroll down variety down here that should be getting a little more love?
Let me look here. We mentioned Jerome Ford. I think James Conner for sure.
Okay.
Again, little revenge narrative there. I think the one place that the Steelers are vulnerable is on the ground. So Conner, I think, is definitely in play. Let's see here. Chuba got home against a tough run defense, did he not?
Sort of. I don't know. That backfield's weird because I don't know what they're going to do usage-wise this week with the new coaching staff, because We saw it flip Chuba's way. Then we saw it flip back with Miles Sanders taking like 50-something%. And now all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're going up against Tampa Bay, which is like a pretty good run defense and a clear pass funnel. Like maybe he gets there via the pass catching thing, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Devin Singletary,
yeah,
for sure.
Singletary. The names that jump out back here to me: Breece Hall, Singletary, and Ford.
Yes. Yeah, and then I think James Conner being below Spiller, like that wasn't me, guys. I don't know what's going on there.
That's funny.
They need to give Spiller some run though. I bet he can run faster than Eckler right now.
I think he could do more than Joshua Kelly too. I mean, like Joshua Kelly, come on, man. We've seen enough of this guy.
I know. I don't know what it is, man. I just think it's because Spiller has a baby face. I swear it's what it is, man. He just looks too.
He's so young.
He looks too soft. They don't think he can play football, but I know he can. I know he can in my heart of hearts. I know.
We gotta lend him one of our mustaches, man.
Oh yeah, that would be helpful.
I'm growing it for charity, my ass. I'm growing it for Isaiah Spiller to feel like a man.
For my best ball
okay. He's playing the hits here. Yeah, we talked up the Taysom one off the start there. I do like the Taysom one. We kind of led the show with that one. How they're so depleted they don't have anybody right now. Javonte, the
fucking P.
Broncos
Ryan sniped him last week.
Right. The Broncos hadn't scored a rushing touchdown in like 10-something weeks. They had one rushing touchdown on the season, and then they get two last week. One with Russell Wilson. What a word. Wilson via his legs, and then they got Samaje Perine with the nice little vulture there as well. So yeah.
But we like Javonte though around these parts.
Yeah, we do. My highest owned running back. Paulie asking a question here. Do we have to fade Moss do that people with last round JT to get the swaps, blah, blah, blah? Absolutely not. Nope. I mean, at the highest in which he could ever be owned is 16%, and he deserves to be drafted in every single draft. And guess what, man? He's probably not going to when it's all said and done and swaps push through because people are going to draft other people over him. So, yeah, I think
that's a really good point.
Leverage.
What percent leverage of we'll just out of 100% of Jonathan Taylor drafters, what percent of those people will swap to Zach Moss? I wonder. But he is going to get a boost, I guess, after ADP.
Yeah, he'll get a boost via ADP and projection, pushing him up on the site itself.
Yeah, which then
even if he becomes
boosts the default,
right? Even if he becomes the default swap, I think he only gets swapped like 86% of those
not 1-to-1. And I'm not doing the fade thing. This isn't like best ball, right? Where we're getting an absurd closing line value. Like we're only drafting 36 players.
We talked about this on and off the clock on Friday there, that closing line value is to this site in ADP. Closing line value is to this site as salary is to redacted. Once the cards are flipped and it's Sunday morning, guess what doesn't matter anymore? Your fucking Skolansky bucks that you collected on closing line value, roster baiting all week. It just doesn't matter. The GMs, they don't matter anymore. All we need is the raw points at that point in time. And that's when you're probably going to want to have Zach Moss versus, whichever other RB 18 swap is available.
100%.
The Washington one's hard with Gibson back and pushing in the wrong direction. You can't ignore the game total there, and you can't ignore the fact that Brian Robinson could find his way to the end zone twice. I think you can paint some very interesting scripts with run back Gibson, and that's going to be very low owned leverage. Or you could do skinny stack B-Rob and Jalen Waddle, or B-Rob and Mostert, or B-Rob and you guys get the analogy. Mm-hmm. But I think it's entirely viable. I think it's a palatable price point. I am just scared of the usage trends associated with it.
Yeah, I'm not going to have any of these guys.
Okay, that's entirely fair. All right, any of the scroll the F down variety here. It's really hard to ignore Cooper Kupp's name, just given what he's amongst here, and same with the Chris Olave one if he clears concussion protocol / the shot, the equity associated with it. I talked a little bit about the skinny stack of this magnitude. You talked about the Adam Thielen here. Whom else back here are we looking at, Nez?
Deontay Johnson, you're right on him there.
I knew. I was just like, I almost stole it from you. I was almost like, just tell me Deontay Johnson, Nez,
Yeah.
and then you could have said it.
Yep. Nope. Give me Deontay. Give me Josh Downs.
Mm-hmm.
And KG just mentioned it too in chat. I think Curtis Samuel, if we talked about run backs, if we think the pass line is going to be there, which I certainly do. Curtis Samuel's been so efficient anytime that he's playing a full workload.
Yeah, I want to tell people that this Giants game where we saw this this kind of like Seahawks game was coming back from an injury. Then the Giants game, he got ejected. So this number 1 here and 2 targets, he only played like 1 drive in that game. So if we're box score watching here, get that kind of out of your mind. I guess people will look to his most recent performance, more so the Thanksgiving one. Island game always skews people's vantage point and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty fun scroll there. We alluded to the Josh Downs targets, in which we saw last week. That seems fun.
I guess A.T. Perry.
Yeah, I mean A.T. Perry, because there's no one else who can catch the football there. Yeah, and they've shown that they like him, kind of deal. Yeah, the Jalen Guyton skinny.
I mean, dude, he's their wide receiver too, is he not?
Damn straight, man. Give him 2 catches this week for 85. Come on.
Who says no?
The Chargers. Anyone else you want to mention down here? I would say,
damn.
Yeah, New England's going to be without basically every pass catcher. It's going to be maybe a cheeky little Juju plus Parker week there.
So they're going to.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance Demario Douglas misses this week as well.
I wouldn't take Juju on a redacted team if he had negative salary. If he gave you money back for putting him in your lineup, I would not.
It's a bonus.
I would still not play him. He sucks, man. I feel bad for the guy. He had a great start to his career, but yeah, no thank you. No thank you. I'm pushing up wide receivers, I will say, just like as a macro point, because back here there's not a lot of fun scrolls. Thankfully, Deontay Johnson is there in the 6th round of goal line stands to like save your wide receiver room. But otherwise, I'm pushing up wide receivers and just taking whatever running backs are left generally.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the Noah Brown one, we talked about the Tank Dell being banged up. There might be something there, plus the swap equity. That's a good shout. And then Chad asking, well, are you checked out? Is Deontay checked out on the team right now?
I mean, let's be real. Let's be real for 1 second, right? A lot of wide receivers on run plays like do what he did and like show no effort. That play also looked like he was down by contact. So I think that he was, like it's an awful look. I'm not trying to like give him, like trying to like make all these excuses, but I think the combination of those 2 things is what looked bad. Plus Deontay is a very sensitive dude. He talks a lot on social media. He's got a lot of like bad rap because he has, he has a lot of drops. So he's just like not like the strongest mentally. So that's why he's like kind of lashing out at people online, but he's fine. He's fine. I think that is a big part of why he's
calling out his mental health character. Yes. Yeah. You're right about that.
Our armchair psychologist here, PhD. Nobody's a bigger Deontay Johnson scientist than me. I know the ins and outs of Deontay Johnson. Pause.
I think he was pouting. Because he thought the previous play, or not previous play, but on the previous drive or whatever, that he scored a touchdown. I think he was still mad. He was still pouting about that. How about
probably,
that?
He doesn't score a lot, So
yeah,
if he gets one taken away, he's pissed. I would not be surprised.
Anyone else you want to mention that is buried down here that is worth our attention?
Not really.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
In case you were wondering, Nez, Alan Lazard is going to play football this weekend after being a healthy scratch last weekend.
Does that mean Aaron Rodgers is returning?
Hey, I patted myself on the back for I have no idea what to do with the Rodgers stuff. Opening the practice window, blah blah blah. This is the gypsy magic that has fixed his ankle. It doesn't make sense. Um, the, the the one that I'm not so certain about is my Alan Lazard love. Although the thesis was different because I anticipated Rodgers being there for the season, but I did have 13 or 14% in best ball, something like that. Alan Lazard.
I don't even think that was bad, man. That was with the assumption that Rodgers was QB, and if
Yeah,
Rodgers
that's
is
fair.
QB, then and Lazard is healthy, he's not the zero that he is now. I mean, I know there's a lot of jokes about him in best ball season, but there's a lot of jokes about Adam Thielen in best ball season, and Adam Thielen's smashing. So
Right. Yeah, that's fair. Tight end looks pretty condensed and pretty top heavy with these top 5 here. We alluded to the Schultz being in a really good spot. Freiermuth over the middle. Trey McBride's role is absurd, and he's the only pass catcher with any height. And you said the linebackers of Pittsburgh are injured this week.
decimated,
Positive matchup there. Pace up spot for Sam Laporta. And then, George Kittle just does George Kittle things every now and then. It's either 20 or 0, and you can pass all you want on the Eagles. I think those top 5 make a lot of sense to me.
Absolutely.
After that, you gave us the Dallas Goedert Q tag, may or may not play. Do you have a percentage lean on the play of Dallas Goedert?
I really don't, man.
Okay.
I haven't been caught up too much with this situation here, but I would assume, if he can play that he won't be super limited, but I'm not so sure. I don't have a strong lean there.
Okay. You said you liked the Logan Thomas one, game environment play plus the targets associated with it. Juwan Johnson, they have no other pass catchers there. He might lead that team in targets this week if Alvin Kamara does not. I think this is probably my favorite of the scroll down variety here. Not aping into the touchdowns, which Tyler Higbee scored last week. Kyle Pitts is just breaking our heart, even reading his name. Apart from that, I'm not seeing a ton here. Adam Troutman scored a touchdown last week.
Nice catch.
Nice catch. Yeah, nice catch. And Houston is really bad against tight ends. If you want to go that DVP route on the Fantasy Life app there, I don't know, maybe that's your one-off skinny stack with Russ instead of doing it with Cortland Sutton. It might be too Galbrain, but those are the only ones I'm throwing out here.
K Dotton would be my my throw out there as well. Really low total, but I mean this team uses four dudes on offense, not including Baker, and he's one of the 4.
Good shout. Yeah, very good shout there. All right, shall we draft?
Yeah, let's get into a BR. These BRs are super fun.
Let's BR it up. Click on them swords. 300K in prizes this week. 2 more spots. Click fast. Oh.
Yeah, man. People are getting to Neumy's head with these structures, man. I think he's feeling invincible, untouchable right now with the way that he's getting this positive feedback.
Let's bring him back down to earth. Let's say something mean.
we'll do that anyways. I mean, just to reiterate, man, the 30K to first, what is it, 20K to second? I mean, it's awesome. This is it's part of what really makes me want to ape in and build up my rake back for next Wednesday.
I love how it's like a thing now too. I love it too.
I'm so dead serious. I'm so it's crazy.
Dude, you're not wrong. I mean, it's a great promotion in the same way that Dog Bowl was as well, man.
Yeah, what is it? Okay, so let me see. If I max, it's $750 to max times what, 0.05. So I get $37 back if I max this. Yeah, baby.
But you gotta think about it in terms of buy-ins back, because those buy-ins push into the following week there. So if you think about like how many weeks if you max it for the entirety of the season, you basically get 1 free week's worth of entry.
Yeah, that's a nice way to look at it.
The old poker math, baby.
I love it.
Convince ourselves of anything around here. Are you Tyreek 101 this week?
Yeah. It deals with the the wide receivers being thin, and McCaffrey's matchup against Philly is kind of tough, but I mean it's not tough enough to not make me take him too. But
Right.
Hill is in such a better spot.
Things going according to plan right now. I like Keenan Allen here. Do you prefer the Philly stuff or something else?
Yeah, I usually go Eagles here. I'm not doing much Keenan Allen this week, but that might come
Okay.
back to bite me because he's the only one that can
Who do
catch
you like
passes.
then? Do you like to take Jalen first then?
Yeah,
Okay, we can do it.
it'll work.
It'll work.
Trust me.
For me,
I've done Jalen with 2 Niners.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, like, I think it's super fun.
There you go. Q tag just got ripped away from us. Alex providing us with the insight there.
Damn.
Yeah, Jackson, this was my play last week. I had 46% or 40 something percent McBride. I think that the roll is just absolutely insane.
Yeah, McGronk, baby.
Yeah, McGronk. I love that. Getting rake back on the rake back on the rake back. I love that. Matt, your badge turns red. It says it's all in the terms and services on the Underdog there, but I think it's 1,000 drafts or 10,000 in winnings, something like that. We've been asked in a while.
Yeah, I can give you the exacto.
Nez is looking it up for you.
All right.
Do you like the Ayuk bring back? Do you like the Devontae stack? Do you like the George Kittle, or do you like our boy Kamara?
Kind of like the Kittle.
All right, let's do it. Do a little Kittle bring back off of our Jalen Hurts thing. They went over the middle of the field. We are stacking onesies on opposite sides of the game environment early in this draft.
A highly experienced player, Matt, has played in more than 1,000 contests. I think that means 1,000 drafts. They say contests, but I think that means drafting 1,000 teams.
Yeah,
because 1,000 contests is crazy. 1,000 teams, or has won at least 4 contests with prizes of at least $1,000 each.
Okay, so $4,000 in 4 increments. Or I mean, $1,000 in 4 increments. So 4,000, not 10,000. So 1,000 drafts or 4K in winnings spread across 4 contests.
It's better to not have a badge and stay low key.
Yeah, fly under the radar.
Yeah, it's cool.
Don't wear your goat horns like an asshole in every single draft you're in, like me.
You know, I saw a no badge goat horn drafter the other day.
Dude, that was me back in the day. That was the biggest flex you could possibly have.
Yeah.
There's no badge and goat horns.
The thing that I was doing back in the day was like throwing on every accessory I could. That I was throwing on the Trojan helmet that said I won 5 BRs and
yeah.
And
Devonta here makes way too much sense. Might be chalky start. Okay.
Just do it.
I was kind of hoping that Kamara fell back to us. I think I know who our next pick's going to be at 21 though. This guy's name Dog Mentality.
Dude, that's what I mean. No matter who goes before our next pick, it's gonna be a smash pick. Like everything just lines up a little too perfect this week.
All right.
No matter where you are. Like KG with an awesome start with the CMC Tank Stroud. That's fantastic.
Right.
Lopez with the Hill to Ayuk start. Just nutty. Everybody's teams look pretty damn good.
Yeah, you get a mini game stack with the Kamara, Amon-Ra St. Brown there, and then you get Austin Eckler for the King Dingaling.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Justin Herbie. He's setting up that Guyton backdoor stack with Jalen Guyton. You love to see it.
Love it. He's watching the show clearly.
Yeah, Mr. Sam knows what's up. This is one player and one player on planet Earth for me right here, and I'm going to see if you agree. Let's see what Dog Mentality does. I'm not even bringing up the players because I think you're just going to agree.
Dog Mentality.
Sam Laporta goes there. This right here, my friend, is Zach Moss for me.
Yeah.
Why? Who else you want? You want Mostert instead? You want Debo from the same game? What do you like?
Yeah, I kind of like Mostert, but Zach Moss is
Okay, let's
Zach.
see if we can push him. Let's see if we can
Okay,
push him.
all right.
See if we can
When
get
ETR
cheeky.
releases their projections, Zach Moss is going to, I think, be pretty similar to Fantasy Life.
Yep, I fully agree.
It's going to look pretty.
This is a great question here from Andrew. Do you have the Rudolph nose? Because I do not.
You don't? Oh,
No.
that's a flex now.
Yeah, like I am so sad that I don't have it.
It used to be really. I don't know how you get it now. Maybe it's just cashing in the Christmas.
It was
hoops.
cashing the OG Christmas hoops slate. That's what it was, and it was before I played hoops and before I was even before we were in streaming or anything like that. And I was just kind of like casually clicking buttons in football once in a while.
Oh yeah, when the OG Christmas slate came out, like my bankroll was like non-existent. Like I couldn't. Yeah, we got them. I had not a lot to play with, so I was like, and I was scared of the hoop street. I was very intimidated of them, so I didn't play. And then there was before, it was
cashing in both. That's what happened after.
And it was at first like something with pick'ems too. I believe we need more accessories, Andrew. If you can pass it up to the good people.
Yeah, I want a baseball bat or like a ball in the dog's mouth or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, Zach Moss comes back to us. The thesis of the play, it worked. We are going to be scrolling at wide receiver here. We got ourselves a Jalen Hurts game environment stack with 2 running backs from good games, as we think, and with presumed good usage as well.
Yeah, we would think.
Gibbs goes there. I mean, running back just does feel better than wide receiver this week.
It's so deep. Yeah, it's so deep. Like I think if not financial advice, but if I was gonna like auto draft BRs, I would definitely put a ton of wide receivers at the top.
I'm not sure we can pass on Nico Collins here.
No,
I don't see much difference between. I wanted to maybe go with like the Hopkins skinny game environment or the Olave for the swap or something. Nico coming back here just on a team where we prioritized,
at home
onesies early. Yeah, I just don't see Nico. Maybe the splits between Nico and Tank are going to be more stark than I think. I can't imagine
they're not.
I can't imagine they project more than like 1.5 different.
The stat chasing guys. Sorry, I was just shout out to Sack and Drico. They showed it. I mean, they're really not that different. And Sack has the hot take that like Nico Collins is just Houston T. Higgins. Like
good shout.
Next season, Nico is going to be going super high. They had a really good segment on wide receivers in the Texans wide receivers, and Nico and Tank's running super hot, and he is extremely good. But Nico's legit, man.
Dude.
Did you lose me?
I lost you for like the big climactic finish there. No.
All I said is Nico's good. I didn't say anything.
Okay. Doesn't it low key remind you? I don't know. Maybe this is a little too far, but like last year's version of the Eagles where like Smith and AJ Brown were 1A and 1B, and you just like always got a discount on Smith each week.
It does feel similar to that. It really does. I'll pull up the comparison tool on its Fantasy Life and see how good that thesis is. But I think you're going to be pretty damn spot on with that one.
Shall we do one last BR or should we jump into hoops? How much hoops takes do you have?
All right, let's do hoops. I'm feeling hoops.
Okay.
As of week, Tank Dell has the better utility, but it's not like it's by like hairs, like they have to label somebody as the better utility. They're extremely similar.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I mean, yeah, maybe that the comp of the Bengals stuff is really good then too. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the update on this one. I want to take a look at the official injury report. We got the 3:30 p.m. one.
Do that while I update my projection blend. Hopefully we've got the it looks like they've got the news of Freddie Van Fleet in there. That's good.
Okay. Oh shoot, it's sharing the wrong tab now. There you go. All right. The LeBron Q tag, as we alluded to off the top, is a real Q tag. He's been doing this for a bit where it was like a fake and he's always going to play and blah, blah, blah. With Cam Reddish coming back, they actually have like a little more bodies. So I do think this makes like Austin Reeves, especially given the fact that they're playing the Pistons, like it makes Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell look like nice 6th round picks that are going undrafted right
I'm
now
glad you
in
said
my
that.
mind. Okay.
I like them a lot. I like them a lot.
Starting out good. Starting out good, Nezzy.
I mean,
page today.
the projections hate that both of those guys. I just disagree, man. I just disagree.
Yeah.
I think that those guys play a ton, and and Reeves can fill it up as Neumy likes to say when it comes to stuffing the stat sheet. And the Pistons are a bad team, man. And I just see the Lakers with or without LeBron as being a team to just like bully the Pistons in form of their role players such as Reeves having a nice game. I'm counting on it. I've got a decent amount of Reeves. I would bet that I'm way over the field on Reeves today.
Okay. Like it. The Pistons side of the ball, man, like they've gotten healthier with like Durant coming back, Livers coming back, Ivy coming back, like all this sort of stuff. It's really hard to disperse their usage and whatnot. Cade is always going to project like so high. He's going to project better than his ADP almost like every single day. Yeah, I've been taking Jaden Ivey in the last round a little bit there. Azur Thompson has seen a little bit. I mean, he's a stock king. Like that's where he makes his money, and that plays well on our site. I think he's top 10 in the league in stocks per game, which is like pretty clutch. But he's seen his minutes kind of like decrease recently with some guys being back and whatnot. So I actually like Jaden Ivey as a 6th round click associated with this game. But outside of that, not a ton of news here.
Yeah, it's sad because I love Thompson just like in general, but today I'm a little less in on him. His projection was much lower to start the day than it is right now, and I'm not sure like what changed, but he's currently ranking 30th in the old blend ski of ETR and stochastic. So all right, maybe I'll start to cycle him in the 6th, I guess, as far as the wide-ranging group of dudes that I am cycling in.
Yeah, today's slate feels very much like yesterday felt different, man. Yesterday felt like there was 5 guys that you could draft in like the 6th round, and I was wrong on 2 of them because it was Garland and Murray that I felt were like really good, fun 6th round clicks. Jared Allen was in that category. Claxton, Dinwiddie to a lesser extent. I liked Claxton more. Dinwiddie was better. Gobert, like just evergreen, can always get there on stocks. Yeah, he played very well defensively against Chet. Yeah, and then outside of that kind of stuff in the 6th round, it was like, I don't know, man. This is all just like hot garbage, and guys were clicking like Draymond Green and shit like this. We talked about it on the show. Today, I feel like, man, we just listed the Lakers guys, and we just talked about Jaden Ivey, and we haven't even got further than that, and there's already more like better 6th round clicks.
Yeah, the thing that made yesterday really frustrating was like, and I hadn't seen this, I think, in this season since playing hoops, is like there was a guy you had to have in every single round. It wasn't like there was multiple answers to the test. You had to have in every single order the guys in which that scored 60, and the and the big bonus there that you had to have was Spencer Dinwiddie. If you didn't have Dinwiddie, you weren't sniffing shit yesterday.
Yeah, Gobert, you could almost get there.
That's true. That's true.
Gobert won the heat check, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
11-point difference, I think, from fantasy point wise. But yeah, every round was filled with guys you had to have. So like what I like to do is usually, hopefully just like, not take somebody that isn't going to miss the guy you have to have by like 30 points, which I was doing yesterday quite a bit, which put me in a bad spot despite being overweight Spida and Mobley. So that doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes the 6 rounders are going to score 60 and it's GG, but I'm not the type to be overweight on any single 6 rounder.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fair. I really like that we were really in on that game, and you in particular were really in on the Cavs side of that game. So
Yeah,
I liked our process. Yeah, we liked the process yesterday. A big looming one here. Oh, okay, so we'll Wizards look fine. Second day of a back-to-back question mark, or they had the 1 day break. Their front end back-to-back. There's so many back-to-backs today. No, they were the game of the year. Their front end back-to-back. Yeah, they were game of the year on Monday.
Who did they play Monday again? Was that the Blazers?
Pistons. Oh, game of the year, dude.
Oh, that's
combined
right. Your
for
game.
22 straight.
How could you ever forget?
Magic, interesting, man. We saw Cole Anthony pop off recently. They have been decimated all year. Suggs is not getting drafted a ton and is available in the 6th round, who I low-key like. Wagner and Anthony go basically every single draft. There, anything to say on Magic? Rotation, outs, anything?
Love the Magic. Love the Magic today. Banchero, Wagner, Cole Anthony. I don't know. I won't get to Goga, but I know you like you kind of point out the centers against Wiz narrative, which I think is fair, but Goga is just a bridge too far for me. I'll do that on Redacted. And then Suggs is also like the scroll the F down player that I like.
Yeah, I like Suggs in the 6th round right now, and it's leverage off Cole Anthony going every single draft, who is obviously a good thing, and I think he might be better than Suggs, like just in general, but it's a little bit of box score watching, because if this slate had taken place 2 weeks ago, I think those two might have been flipped in terms of ADP.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Cole Anthony isn't pushing up more, but he has a lot to compete against above him to kind of break through that tier, but yeah, your point stands.
Here is my spiciest take. Maybe it's not even that spicy. My spiciest take of the day here, Nez, is that Devin Booker should be the 102 if we think Grayson Allen and Kevin Durant sit tonight.
No problems.
No problems? Not even that spicy, eh? Thought I was so
spicy, but it's spicy, but like you would put him over who though? I mean, as far as like the 1-2 there, you wouldn't put him 3. You would actually put him 2 over.
Yeah, I mean, I would put him over Anthony Davis. I would put him. I mean, Anthony Davis is hard because
Embiid though. Jokic.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe 2 is too spicy. I don't know. The Jokic one's interesting because like if Houston rolls out nobody today, like they're low-key gonna do, and then you just got like Jokic versus Sengun battling up and down the field or up and down the court, similar to like how we watched Bam and Giannis battle yesterday. That could be really fun to watch.
I think it's going to be a super fun game.
Okay,
for that matchup.
Maybe I'm walking it back a bit, but I think Devin Booker like has like 65 outing potential right now if Durant sits.
Yeah, his usage is awesome. I think even with Durant in, he's got a hell of a ceiling. So
yeah, okay. Maybe it was a spicy take then. We did get spicy. Sixers, we kind of know what to expect with Sixers. It's Embiid, it's Maxey, it's never Tobias Harris because he's boring as shit and he's Joe Mixon of this. Anyone else you're taking on the Sixers today?
No, just Embiid and Maxey. Watch it be Melton Day, but I'm not counting on it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we were all taking Melton in the 6th round on Monday there, and it didn't pan out for anyone. Same with Tobias Harris going in the 4th round that day, and yeah, don't love it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but
CJ McCollum said that he's coming back tonight. Matt Ryan and Trey Murphy still doubtful. I don't expect either of them there. You could go the Stocks route in the last round, and not Dyson Daniels. Who am I thinking of? Herb Jones, one-off 6th rounder there. But this Pels team is really hard when everybody's in. So yeah. I'm not really sure that like I don't ever really like Brandon Ingram at ADP when all 3 of them are playing. I like Zion more than Ingram most days. That's just kind of like my stance. CJ in the 6th is fine. CJ in the 5th, he's probably pushing up now that he has the little green tag associated with his name in the last hour and a half. I'm not going to try and get overweight CJ in his first game back, but
I'm not gonna have any CJ.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude had a collapsed lung.
Yeah.
I mean, know, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That spicy take got real mid real quick. I love that. I like that a lot. Levi, it's a little bit about Jaden Ivey. It's actually more about Livers, in my opinion. It's Livers that's eating into those minutes.
Yeah, they played like the same position, so it's tough.
Yeah. Run Good Rick asking you what your Murray exposure is, Nez.
0.
Wow. No Jamal for Nathaniel. Very interesting there.
I just think those guys are for sure going to get limited.
Yep. I tend to agree with you, to be honest. Yeah. Rockets news dump came in. As you alluded to, no Tate, no Fred VanVleet. Gonna open up a lot of stuff for they've been running that offense through Sengun as is, like distributing big, right? Yeah. Like that offense has changed. They play way slower, they run it through Sengun, like that sort of deal. I think that's one thing that we haven't fully switched off with the Rockets there. Kelly Oubre questionable tonight and Clarkson questionable tonight. I've been taking a lot of Walker Kessler in the 5th and 6th. Right, like just in general, I just think he's back, man. He's back.
Yeah, I don't. His minutes have to go up like 1 or 2 soon.
Right.
I don't know if he's going to start, but if he doesn't start, he's closing. Right. If he doesn't start, it's because they're trying to limit his minutes as much as they can, while also having him close games, which would equate to like 26 minutes, and he's a greater than 1 fantasy point per minute player by far, who has 4 block ceiling. Like he feels really good against these Grizzlies that are trash today.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are absolutely decimated, and they've been so bad. Give me 28 minutes. Give me that little uptick. Please. Give me Walker Kessler starting as he should be. I don't know why he isn't the first 2 games. Maybe they're just limiting as he comes back from the injury or whatever, but they haven't limited his minutes, so why not just start him? Anyways, neither here nor there, but give me 28 minutes of Walker Kessler versus Bismack Biyombo, who was on the street 5 days ago. Or, that's hyperbole, but it was, 2 weeks ago he's been signed back. Nobody wanted him to start the year.
I'm good.
Nuggets stuff, Gordon questionable, Jamal questionable. As the Nuggets rule, or as the Rockets rule people out, I imagine the Nuggets don't force guys back. That's my bro science take. Fred VanVleet gets ruled out. Why bring Jamal back tonight? Give him another, if he's not fully ready. I mean, he might be fully ready. Anyways, I think they're going to have their way with this team anyways. So why force the issue with Aaron Gordon and Jamal? Just my stance. Yeah, it makes kind of like Reggie or KCP or Michael Porter Jr. in the 5th and 6th round look viable if we get these guys ruled out.
Yes, it does. And I don't think Gordon plays, but I have really no evidence of that. But I just, other than just like what you said, kind of agree that with Freddie out, they can kind of pump the brakes on at least Aaron Gordon. Maybe they want to give Murray a warm-up game.
Okay. Yeah, at least Aaron Gordon. That's a good shout. The Clippers, I mean, I can't imagine they rest anybody. I think they start everybody after getting embarrassed by the Nuggets backups in that game. I think they come out with a vengeance tonight, but your guess is as good as mine on any given night who to pick Clippers-wise. I will pick a little bit of Kawhi as a touching tribute to the W on Monday. But outside of that, Nez, I don't know what the right answer is with the Clips tonight. Do you have a matchup that you like there? I mean, it's obviously a good pace-up spot against the Kings.
Yeah, I kind of like them all.
Okay.
At ADP, except for Harden. I think I have Harden down a little bit in ADP, but I'm still Harden is basically at ADP in my ranks for me. So, yeah, he's like the one, obviously I'm lowest on, but I like them all against the Kings. they might not win, but they should score a lot of points.
I like it. If the Kings haven't submitted yet, they are on the back end of a back-to-back. They played the late night hammer last night, had a pretty good, impressive, emotional win over the Warriors there to push themselves into the next round of the in-season tournament. So I guess that game is on Friday. Yeah, I imagine their next game will be on Friday for that. Anyways, who cares? Just that they haven't submitted, and they had a big game yesterday, and they were without Keegan Murray. So I don't really know what to expect.
He's out
from them.
again.
He's out again. Okay, so Malik Monk feels like a maybe if you don't think Fox is. I don't know. I'm just trying to read tea leaves here. I'm not expecting Q tags from them with Sabonis and Fox. I'm just thinking through range outcomes that it's not impossible that we just get midday Qs for them.
Yeah, hopefully not, but it's not improbable. That was a tough emotional game last night, like you mentioned.
Your favorite, Nez, in terms of like ADP value, scroll the Fs, guys that are projecting better than ADPs. What are you seeing that you like so far?
Let me pull up the old sheet and see what we have as far as standouts go.
Okay.
Sorry, I've got 2 copies of this because of the outs that happen, and it's just easier for me. Banchero is he's not standing out as much as he was at first. ADP really caught up to him in a big way. Jaren Jackson, projection wise, I'm not giving him a boost. I don't know about you.
I was taking him a lot in the 4th round. He's probably my highest owned player right now. I've only
at ADP, sure.
Yeah. I was prioritizing him. I mean, I like Kuzma because I'm addicted to drafting Kuzma. I was prioritizing JJJ over this tier other than, for me, it'd be Cade, then Barnes, then JJJ in that range like that. That's how I'd rank them there.
Yeah, they're all pretty similar there. Mm-hmm. Other players that are kind of standing out, Santi Aldama.
Okay.
Looking like he should be going in the 5th.
Mm-hmm. Dude, this feels like it feels like one of those slates, man, where 2 6th rounders are the guys you need.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I just see a pretty strong drop off after like Harden and Duren, personally.
Okay, let's see where Harden and Duren is. What number are they at?
24 and 25.
Harden and Duren, 24 and 25. Yeah, I mean, like Duren's a guy that for me that's going to be a bit higher than that. Nurk is going to be nice if you get no Allen and Durant as well, though. So
for
like
sure.
I guess that's the bull case for having Nurk up there. Yeah.
I like Clarkson tonight a lot.
Okay.
I will say. I think he's going to
play.
Think
he goes? Okay.
Yeah, he was at shoot around and no market in there to like soak up that offensive usage. Mm-hmm. Grizzlies are bad, and Clarkson hasn't had a blow up game in a minute. So I think he's itching to fill up the cup.
I like that. I like that shout. Any George in that same vein in the 6th round?
I get to Keontae George a little bit because that's my favorite player, and I have to stick to the brand. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of George. He hasn't cracked 40 fantasy points yet, I don't think, but he's going to give you the prettiest 30 you've ever seen.
I like that. Okay, I'm trying to think through. Yeah, man, THT has taken a pretty big step back on that team recently too. Like we had the day where like everybody was ruled out and Walker Kessler had the Q tag and everybody was taking like THT in the 6th round. And man, his minutes have just been pushed all the way down. It's George, it's Clarkson, it's all these other guys.
Yeah, I don't think they like him that much.
Yeah, fair enough. You alluded to the CJ stuff. Jalen Green. What's Jalen Green doing for you projection wise now that Fred VanVleet is out? That might be the biggest mover on the day.
Yeah, he is at rank 26.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Who I like at cost more than him is Jabari Smith.
Oh, Another 6th-round pick.
Another one. Your thesis.
Dude,
He only ranks 41 right now after these updates, but
yeah,
I think Tari Eason was part of that onslaught of outs, right? Like this is
let me confirm. Sorry,
different positions, but
he's not out yet. He's questionable. He was the Q that was there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I still think that he's going to have to pick up a lot of slack offensively. So
Okay.
I like Jabari Smith today.
Yeah, I like Jabari Smith in general. I mean, we
Right.
were both guilty of it last year of liking Tari Eason and Jabari Smith,
Uh-huh.
especially whenever the other one was out. We always were like, "Oh yeah, here we go, this is our guy."
Yeah, when they used to be fun, the Rockets.
Yeah. Now they're not as fun. Anyone else? I guess we didn't really talk about the front end at all here. Is there anyone you're deviating from to make a priority at the front end of ADP here?
Not really. Okay. No. I'm taking. I mean, if you take LeBron and KD at ADP, you're going to be overweight.
Okay.
People are scared.
They're letting them fall.
Yeah, and I'm taking him. I mean,
Okay.
I know we say it's truly 50-50 in our estimation, but I'm going to keep playing the LeBron Q tag as fake game until it shoots me.
Until it proves you wrong.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm going Jokic over Embiid as well.
Ooh, okay. So you think the Jokic Q is a nothingness, and we're ready to go here?
Yeah, he wants an MVP.
Okay. All right, I like it. Do you have any lean on this Sagan, Maxey, and George kind of like tier here?
I definitely I'm like Sengun, Maxey, then George. So
okay.
pretty much I'm
line
boring.
with ADP.
Yeah. I try to respect ADP a little bit when I do these drafts because I'm doing them at volume. And some of my I don't want to take too big of stances in the top 10.
Fair enough. Okay. I mean, I think I like Maxey. He's kind of caught up now. I liked Maxey more than the grouping before, but now the ADP is kind of like exactly where. Yeah, I think I'm kind of in lockstep with you. These first 20-ish picks, like they all feel like, hard to get crazy exploitative with. And then the last 3 picks of your draft, you can kind of just do whatever the F you want and keep scrolling for some good usage that isn't getting drafted.
Yeah, it's all wide open after pick 28.
Ooh, 28. That's far. Okay.
It is far, but I think that there are clear-cut guys. It's just a matter who you want. I don't know. Are you going to do McCollum? Because I'm not, like I mentioned.
Okay, so I was listening to Gallagher and Dink talk about their injury report a little bit there when I was walking the dog. And he was saying that he listened to CJ's podcast and that he's been training on the side this whole time and he's fully up to game speed and he's going to be ready for full minutes right off the jump, blah, blah, blah. And CJ was saying that about himself on his own podcast. I don't know if the coaching staff sees eye to eye on that. I mean, he was playing some good basketball. Granted, some of it was without Ingram for that stretch there, and he was putting up some really nice box scores before the collapsed lung stuff. But I long-winded way of saying, like, I don't love the Pels, and someone said it in the chat. I think Paulie said it in the chat. The Pels and the Clippers feel so similar to me in terms of like, how do we disperse this usage? Yes, they're all super talented players. Yes, any one of them could get home on a given night. I'm not sure where to find the best matchup. And I think the easy answer is to just be like, hey, how about the guy with the collapsed lung for the last couple weeks just doesn't play as many minutes as we expect him to play in his first game back. So I think maybe we don't have to go as Galbrain far as we'd like to and just like, yeah, that just makes too much sense, right?
I know. And then but on the flip side too, it's like, it's also not like a soft tissue injury. So they don't really have to worry about him. Like, I just worry about him
re-aggravating kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. I don't think, that is, you're scaring me.
Mm-hmm.
You're scaring me.
I don't know.
He's really cheap.
He is really cheap. Yeah.
Fuck, I don't want to be too wrong on that.
Yeah. And I will have 0% Joe Val as usual when they're all back there. I'm hopping into hoops here.
Let's go.
You know what? I might have to do the heat check right after this because that thing looks like it was
Yeah, you better hurry. It's gonna fill.
goodness. You guys are crazy out here.
Let me
perfect. We got Jazar in here, so you got all the time in the world, man. You could take as much time as you want because that clock is going all the way down to 0.
Unreal. Just the audacity of that man, that person.
Our boy T Pastella in here.
Underdog is teasing the beef stew beef.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they said rematch tonight at 7. Are they implying that LeBron James is going to play today?
I'm not sure they went that far. I think they're playing catch up on our show, Nez, at 1.5x speed, and they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, the beef stew. That's a good clickbaity narrative."
I didn't want to say that, but it's obvious. They're pumping out content.
Man. Yeah, 6-round rockets for all the money. I mean, like 6-round rockets isn't what they used to be when they used to be trash on defense and play fast, and now they run the offense through their center and they're slow and not as fun. But definitely Jalen Green feels like a really good click right now, and definitely Jabari Smith feels like a good click, especially if Tari Eason ends up being out.
Yeah, those guys are fun.
Any new news since we've been chatting, Nez?
No, I've been trying to refresh and on my phone and see, and not getting anything. Chris Dunn is out, so like, if that means something to you.
Nope.
I guess more bullish that our boy Clarkson plays, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I just got tagged by Travis in a GM here of an Anthony Davis plus Sabonis.
Damn.
Ooh.
How the hell?
He is absolutely GMing all over himself right now. I am a little scared of these late day queues here, but the fact that the Clippers don't have any queues makes me, I guess, a little more bullish on the sack stuff.
They got to start winning.
The Clippers do, or the Kings do?
Clippers.
Or both?
I guess both, but the Clippers especially need to start winning.
No, for sure the Clippers do, and I guess that's why there's no queues, blah, blah, blah. But like the Kings not having submitted yet, I'm still a little afraid. I like Fox here as one of them for sure. I think it's kind of like the line in the sand there. And then out of this next grouping, do you have a lean on Braun Q tag, Durant Q tag, or skipping it and getting to Sengun or Maxey?
Braun is definitely my preference. I know you're scared.
Wow.
I know you're scared, but you know what they say about scared money?
Scared money, yeah. I do know what scared money does. It runs out of the gym because it sees beef stew at the other fucking end, Nez. So you think there's a better chance that Braun plays tonight than Kevin Durant?
100%. 100% yes. 100%.
Okay. I know Braun's usage has been trending in the right direction. I know he has been more of the on-ball guy. I still am very hesitant to think he has a ceiling that is slate winning versus Detroit as 7-point road favorites with, Reddish back with whatever.
Come on, man. You can't be talking about Cam Reddish as your cold water take on LeBron James hitting his ceiling. We can't have that discussion.
I should have left that last part out.
It's okay. I'll let you omit that. I'll let you let the record that is omitted from the record. You cannot hold that against John. Everything you said is true.
Stenographer behind closed doors, please.
I'm just like a sucker for the fact that LeBron always pops in projections and is always undervalued on Underdog. So I like getting him at cost because I feel like I'm getting one over on the field.
I feel like the projection models haven't caught up to LeBron's age yet.
Dude, he's playing, but he's playing great ball.
Yeah, he's playing well. He's playing well, and the usage is there.
Like he's projecting better this year than he did last year.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. But
I wasn't as dialed in, but
yeah, I think you're right about that until we got playoff Braun. Then it was like throw the projections out the window and just take them at the top of the draft board after AD had the good night the night before. Wow, we see JJJ paired with Bane go at 12-13 there.
That
Two
is
of my
bullish.
favorite plays on the slate might fall back to us here.
That is so bullish. Good for you. Good for you, CJK Dallas.
Dude, honestly, it's this kind of slate to me, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, Kuzma didn't come back. I like Kuzma tonight. I know you don't.
I don't. But you know what? Chase that Kuzma ceiling, man. Just chase
fucking
it.
Addicted to Kuzma.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Watch this like hit for Kuzma though, because he flopped like shit against the Hawks, and I kept telling myself like, no regrets, no regrets. That was a good play. It was a great play.
Regrets.
It's not my bit.
This is Cade for me, like 100%. You can't talk me off of it, especially when we have
Cade and Kuz, baby.
Cade and Kuz evergreen with me. Next player, I will let you select.
Oh, I get a turn.
I will let you select this player, whomever you want, any player on planet Earth.
I'm delaying. I'm not thinking about this at all. I'm just.
Oh,
delaying.
You're just you're reverse milking the clock.
I'm J-Sar.
Right,
yeah, and Scotty Barnes.
Yeah,
my large son, Scotty, who is falling back to earth a little bit efficiency wise, but like it's still Scotty Barnes, and he can still he can break slates. I know a lot of these guys can as well, but I just love Scotty, man. I've got such an affinity for the dude.
Yeah, and taking Pascal over Scotty feels so bad in every single draft, regardless of what day it is.
Like maybe these underdog drafters were dialed in and like they nailed Siakam night, which like hats off to you. Right. I will like let you make that call, but I am so surprised Siakam goes over Barnes, even after all day of drafting where ADP had time to change. Like not even the box scores don't even like it's like he has a good game in his last 3. Like I don't know where this is coming from.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I don't know. What's your sheet telling us? Does it like Barnes more? Or does it like Siakam more?
The sheet I think is actually in line with Underdog.
Yeah, they like Siakam more.
Yeah, it's not by much. Nope, I lied. Barnes over Siakam by 0.6.
Flip a coin.
Exactly.
I think that's one thing that happens in hoops, that the good hoops players diversify comparative to the bad hoops players right now, is that you'll make a list and you'll just boom and then auto it and make the list and not refine and tweak and stuff, because we're dealing with, even if you sort by ceiling projection or you sort by mean projection or whatever, you still need to tweak because we're dealing with like razor thin margins of like 1.5. You know what I mean? Like this
exactly. That's what's lost on people, right? Like you see the order. I mean, I'm not saying that like everybody does this, but like I know I was guilty of it at first too, where like you see the order of rankings and you just take those as gospel and you don't look at like the difference between player A and player B in the order. And it's like, that's why I have a new column of like, you know, a delta column of the player that's ranked ahead of them. It helps. It really helps with the tiers, you know, of guys and where they should be ranked, in my opinion.
Okay, I like it.
Which, speaking of which, man, Embiid has a higher ceiling projection than Jokic tonight by 6 points.
Wait, Embiid has a higher ceiling projection than Jokic by 6 points
per ETR.
Wow, holy smokes!
Kind of crazy, right?
Okay, are we gonna scroll here? Yes, that was the answer, Nez. The answer is yes. Santi Aldama as one. Who would you like the second player to be?
We could do Jabari. We could do Reeveski. We could do.
Prefer Reeves on a non-LeBron team.
Sure.
Prefer Ivy on a non-Cade team.
Suggsy.
Suggs. Yeah, let's do Suggs.
Suggsy.
I
mean, he feels like a good Canadian boy to me. I don't know why.
Yeah,
he's not, I don't think, but you would know for sure. So he's definitely not.
He's absolutely not. No.
I know he went to Gonzaga. That's probably why these Gonzaga. Oh, you know what he is? He's a good old Minnesota boy.
Oh, there you go. Minnesota.
No wonder Neumy was putting me on Suggs this morning. God, I fell for it. Fuck.
Minnesota boy with Pacific Northwest roots in Gonzaga. There you go. That's the perfect storm there, Nez.
Yeah,
that's narrative street through and through. Jordan Poole going in the 30 at 33 there. I mean, I kind of like the spot. Jordan Poole is going to have, we talked about it yesterday with Julius Randle, where he's just going to like have that 150 burger game where he slides in drafts and then he buries you because of it. Jordan Poole is eventually going to have one of those. That man, the play he got swatted on yesterday was effing hilarious, but he's playing, street ball out there and everyone else is playing real fundamental basketball. It's pretty hilarious.
Dude, the Randall thing is really tilting because I was waiting for the big Randall game. I was going to be overweight on Randall every night until it happened.
Yeah.
And it happened and I didn't. And then I nailed Randall and I nailed Donovan and I nailed Mobley and I lost money last night. because I was also overweight on Cat and I was overweight on Ant, and I hope Ant gets well soon because he did fall and like hurt his hip pretty bad. Did not look pretty, but was not having a good game before that against the Thunder.
Yeah,
very tilting.
Hey, directionally accurate because maybe the guy you needed was Rudy Gobert in the last round.
I did have I like I said, man, I get my field share of Rudy and I move on with my life.
A little context in the chat here from Primetime KG and Go Cards, both suggesting that we've got our first dump of practice reports. So this is kind of like the NBA when you get the news dump and then they come through, blah blah blah. But it's a news dump season for first practice reports. Wednesday Q tags in the NFL never mean anything other than we get a beautiful potential discount of some GM combos. So go ahead and get in the Battle Royale streets right now when people FUD the hell out of a Tyreek Q tag or they FUD the hell out of the Keenan Allen Q tag.
Are these guys questionable now?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what they're telling us because it's.
Well, I knew they missed practice, but I didn't know that they were. Oh my God, man! This is I'm glad I didn't blow my load just yet on these battle royales because you're gonna get some sick combos there.
Yeah.
All
right, cool.
Shall we?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's listed as Tyreek's listed as an ankle DNP and Chargers 1, Keenan Allen quadricep DNP. So
those
there's
guys are
that.
playing.
Oh, 100% they're playing. Like that's like. That's why I'm saying get in there. All right. Let's hit the wrap it up box here, Nez. There's still 50 some odd of us hanging out. We had a nice high of about 90 there at one point. Do us a favor. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, that follow, all that good stuff. Keeps us coming back here. We got to prove to Underdog that we are worth their time and efforts. So please do so there.
That's one thing that helps. let us know.
Yeah. And if you're not playing on the good platform yet, use promo code MLB or promo code BadgeBros at sign up there for 100% match deposit up to 100 USD. But I know you sickos all have that this beautiful red badge here right on my chest. I know that's what you guys are about. So no dice on that one. Any parting words, Nez?
I'll see you in the lobbies. Best of luck.
Yep.
See you Friday as well. And if you're not a member, also feel free to sign up. Definitely going to be some more paywalled stuff. So just get ahead of that. And that way you're not wondering why the hell you missed some sick contents. It's because it's behind the paywall, baby. I'm sorry. We gotta earn a buck or two. Yeah,
do us a favor, support the channel for the low price of one BR entry.
Yes.
Yeah.
One BR entry a month and you can make us feel like we're doing something good here.
Right. Yeah. You're putting it into context where it's like, yeah, man, you're going to play 150 of these this week. Well, how about just 151? And then you still get 3 more free weeks.
Yeah. How does that sound?
Oh man, we got to up the price. All right, here we go. All right, appreciate everyone hanging out. Everybody's favorite time of the show when Beef Stew beats the shit out of LeBron James tonight. The end. Peace.